realms.
Welcome, viewers new and returning to Saviors DND. Sorry for the wee bit of the late start today, just some technical gremlins in the system, but all sorted now thanks to Don Bro and his technical wizardry. Our party, the Red Wolf Saviors, are continuing their journey in the Forgotten Realms, and we'd be really grateful if you could follow us here at twitch.tv SavioursDnD, and you'll also find links to our Twitter at SavioursDnD and Saviors DND on YouTube, where we post our VODs in 2 bite-sized portions for you. We'll read out any new followers and donations at the end of the stream, but as ever, I'll let the players introduce the characters one by one. Don Bro, do you want to start with Alton? Yes,
and nobody look at the fact that Squid is not in his frame. I will fix that. I just noticed that. Wonderful stuff. I am playing Alton. He is a little gnomish bard. Spiky red hair, kind of confused by the material realm, used to more of the Fey life. Hashtag Fey life. And yeah, at the moment we are on the road to Neverwinter, and we seem to be being stalked by an old acquaintance of ours that we thought we had banished. So, Alton is a mute, and he speaks and casts spells through his white raven quill, and that's all I got, baby.
Super duper. Jabberwocky, what about Salir?
Yeah, Salir is a half-elf, half-vampire barbarian. Doing what he's doing. We really haven't delved much into his past backstory, and he's also very bad at bringing forth that information himself. So it is nobody's fault. Also mostly my own fault. And he's just, coming along and hit things with an axe.
Fair enough. Short and sweet, thank you. Emeros, what about Cyric?
Well, Cyric is our druid / warlock, accompanied by his squattle-looking snake creature that has been granted to him by some dark, mysterious force, and he is along for the ride today as well.
Cool. And last but by no means least, I'll do it in reverse order 1 week, Terror.
That'll freak us all out.
Terror, so you are with your character, Mara.
Yes, I play Mara Clearwater. I'm a cleric of Joaquin, the goddess of trade, and I have the home-brewed trade domain, which you can find on the DM's Guild. And she's from a small little farm somewhere near Baldur's Gate. And she likes trade, and she likes to help markets and stuff. And she's along with the party to help out in any way she can. And she has a trusty companion as well. Mm-hmm. A dwarven fighter, who's probably both the strongest and the toughest member in the group.
I think he is.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's pretty categorical.
Yeah. He has the highest armor as well. But that's all the crunchy stuff. He's kind of gruff, but lovable, and he
swore a very deep oath to protect Mara, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mara's still a little bit uncomfortable with, but
yeah. I mean, she's coming to terms with it, and he is very lovable, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And but we don't know that much about him. His parents were blacksmiths, and he's been a guard for most of his life. Yeah. But currently, he has come under some type of illness, or curse, or corruption from Sir Skaldaros, who we've ran into a while back.
Yeah, indeed.
A couple of days ago.
So, last episode, the party continued their journey to Neverwinter, which is their current destination. Again, worrying about the corruption and what that's done to Garvin. Mara discovered that her lesser restoration spell slightly alleviated the condition, so is very hopeful that she'll be able to find a more senior cleric within her religion when she gets to Neverwinter, who may be able to cast a higher greater restoration, which may alleviate more or eradicate this corruption that's within Garvin. A lot of last week's session, it was very entertaining, but there was a lot of just interaction and general discussions between the characters. At the end, about 2 nights of travel, on the third watch, a campfire was seen in the distance to the north of the road, and the party, for yet to be seen whether it was a good or a bad decision, decided to go and investigate. They witnessed what I think it was Mara recognised to be a green hag. And shortly after seeing them,
it was, I think it was Cyric, and
was
Alton
it Cyric?
confirmed
It
it.
was,
Yeah,
it was the Quaddle thing that I
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, of course, that's right. Went out to scout.
Yeah.
And shortly after your Coatl returned, the forest was plunged back into deep darkness again. The campfire extinguished very strangely in an instant. And we start today's session with the parties in discussion as to whether to make their way back to the caravan and instantly pack up and run, or whether to go and confront the possible threat of the hag. So I shall pass it over to you, chaps.
Okay, so just to confirm, we just saw them.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw the campfire go out. We have not seen the entity yet.
Yeah.
We have
No, you did. You've not seen it.
Right.
Derek has seen it through the Coatl, yes, because it was able to flash a sort of vivid picture of what it saw. The rest of you have not had eyes on it.
And it's only us 4. Garvin is sick in the caravan,
That's correct.
and Mar doesn't have any armor.
Well, correct.
Also can't see anything because you don't have vision.
Yes. Humans and what is it? Humans and halflings, the only one without dark vision.
Pretty much.
Okay, guys, do we think we're ready to fight a hag today? Or tonight?
Yeah. I think you'll see Alton from the second he recognized what this thing is. It was certainly shooken by it, and he's immediately looking back towards the camp, essentially, like we gotta go sort of thing. He will look to see if there's any sort of a clue that the hags know they're there, or if they're trailing them, or is there any way of discerning that in this situation?
And roll an intelligence check. Let's see.
I'm a smart boy. I'm not a smart boy. I
love my job.
That's a 4 on the dice. I'm not going to make that, I presume.
Okay. You're not going to get any more than this, but the fact that the campfire just suddenly sort of snapped out of existence, even with a low roll like that, it's not difficult to put 2 and 2 together that they know some things about. Whether they know it's you particularly, or whether they know exactly where that something is another thing entirely.
Can I roll a hearing perception to see if I hear something skitter old lady like towards us?
Like a skittering old lady, that sound.
Yeah. As you do with a skittering old lady.
Do we hear from the forest?
You can, but skittering old ladies are notoriously difficult to use.
Right, that's why you have a point.
No, I'm just joking. Absolutely, of course you can.
That's an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the 8 that what you do here is that the normal sounds of the forest seem to deaden. Now, it's not like one of these, sort of horror tropes where suddenly it's silent and there's not even crickets in the trees and owls hooting, but there's this sort of strange distortion in the way things sound, and it's all just slightly deadened. Everyone make a perception check, just a general perception check.
Yeah, because it was hearing, right?
No, this isn't. This is me asking you just to do a general perception check.
I got a 16.
Okay.
19
Low
for me.
for me.
15.
I mean, I just rolled a perception. Did you want to roll another one?
Yes, because this is for something
Okay.
specifically different. Yes.
Then 17.
Okay. Well, all of you at the same time notice that as you're standing there discussing things, you start to see boiling out of the ground a thick, impenetrable fog. And almost as soon as you see it, it's knee deep. And then as you sort of look around, it's waist deep. And very, very quickly, before you've had time to react, it is around you 360 degrees, and it's quickly obscured all of your surroundings.
Mara's gonna pick up her book and kind of keep it close to herself. Just gonna pick up a rock, like a pebble from the road. She's gonna cast light on it. She's gonna kind of just toss it through the fog in any direction. How quickly does it
You
disappear?
just randomly, or are you going to try and do it in a particular direction?
I guess from the way the direction, that's the word, that we saw the fire from.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a survival check. So let's see how accurate you are with this.
Oh, that's pretty good. 25.
Okay.
20,
So you hit the stone, good sort of fist-sized stone with a bit of heft to it. Cast light on it and chuck it. I'm not going to get you to roll that because throwing a stone, you can throw it quite a good distance. And I'm sure you've all had that experience of driving in the dark with fog, where the full beams of the car are actually worse than having them on dip.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of thing, it sort of lights up all of the fog
And closes
and obviously
it all.
that diminishes as the stone gets further and further away. You can
This-
see where the stone lands, as in you can see the faint sort of ephemeral glow of the fog where it's illuminated by it, not actually see things. But
were we able to tell where the source of the fog was?
it just seemed to boil up out of the ground.
Damn it.
I think
I have my
this-
weapons out.
I think
Yeah.
that this Cyric will just telepathically speak to say to all of you, just run, and grab Mara still by the hand and see if we can, because she does not have
Yeah, she doesn't have
dark
good
vision
sight.
as we know,
Yeah.
and try to pull back to the direction of the camp.
Okay.
Alton had headed in that, like he was looking in that direction before this fog came up.
Mhm.
He had looked back to camp. And this fog, how high is it?
Higher than any of you can see at this moment in time. It's certainly above all of your head height. How far above you it goes, you don't know.
Right. You see, I need to know the source to dispel it, and I can't see anything, so...
The fog is the source.
Oh, really?
What? Wouldn't it be the hag that is the source?
Depends on if the hag...
If you're talking about dispel magic, you can
You
dispel
dispel the effect.
which
Okay.
is the fog.
Okay. Then in that case, Alton won't just start running. Before he starts to run, and he's probably moving in that direction, he will... Quill will sort of fly down through the fog, and you'll hear what sounds like a thunderous rolling, like a as Alton sort of looks back, his arms go out, and his eyes go white with the pupils turning pallid, and he will be casting Dispel Magic on this fog.
Okay. What do you have that up? What
I can
is
put it
the-
into chat 1 sec.
It's a third level spell.
Yeah.
If the spell being dispelled is below third level, it does so automatically. Otherwise, you have to make a roll.
Yeah.
Okay. you make an Arcana check as well, because as you cast the spell, it does not seem to have any effect at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
But what's your Arcana check?
Arcana 19.
Yeah. From your Arcana check and the sort of feedback you get from casting the spell, it's not that this is a very high-level spell, it's that you don't think it is actually a magical effect in the traditional sense of a spell.
Okay. So it's just fog then.
Maybe.
I will then. Alton will gulp, go rip that 3rd level spell, and he'll start running.
Okay. What I do want you all to know then is, how are you running? Are you holding on to each other? Are you all running randomly?
I think Sirik and Mara are split off ahead of us.
No.
Well,
we're ahead of them.
Yeah, you said you caught our hand and started running. I think I'm probably I'd be behind people because I'd just be slower, so it would make sense.
I think Salir would purposefully take up the rear, going at like half jog pace just to maintain awareness. Like, because if you're full out sprinting, you're not looking around you, you're sprinting towards your target. He's doing like a light jog, constantly scanning, ready to hit something.
Yeah, I was going to say Alton definitely isn't sprinting. He can barely... He wouldn't probably be able to sprint in this terrain on a normal day, so he's probably moving carefully, but in as what he believes to be the direction, you know?
Okay, that's fine. In that case, I need Alton, Salir, and Sirik all to make survival checks with disadvantage.
Ooh, ay. Oh, that's
Mara
good.
would cast guidance on Sirik because she's guiding him. He's guiding her.
That's fair play.
Yeah, so he would gain a D4 bonus.
That's a 6 total.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
Oh, and then add
1d4.
On top of that high number.
Wait, no, you rolled the first one, so it's 16 and 16. So just
we've always done it with Sirik that he rolls twice rather than doing the thing, so
I do.
Unfortunately, I was going to be kind, but then I thought, nah, we've always done it that way, that it's clicked twice rather than
Let's keep doing as we always have.
Then you can set it to only roll 1.
Yeah, well, I'll update the sheet. In a moment.
Oh, that would be
so we've got a 6, a 7, and
a 4.
A 4, right? Okay.
We're going to end up in Ravenloft.
Welcome to Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, that's not terrifying at all.
Very quickly, all 3 parties, so Mara and Sirik, Salir and Alton, you are very quickly all turned around. You probably run 100, 120 feet and are very acutely aware that you don't know where the others are or where you are. Just the fog and this deadening, strange sort of effect that it's having on sound, you're very, very disorientated. And just now, Alton and Salir, you find yourselves completely alone in the pitch dark. Your dark vision is almost useless because of the fog. And Mara, you don't even have that, but at least you have Sirik there, who has you by the hand.
Yeah.
If all of you roll perception checks.
While he is by himself and he starts to realize it, Salir will take off his glasses, just preparing for any situation that might come up if he doesn't want to be hindered.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Okay.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm
Is it
blind.
perception?
Yep.
Total, it's 21 because I got a +1 for Jack of all trades, but who's counting?
Okay, so all of you rolled quite well there. Well, one thing all 4 of you can see to orientate yourself is that you can see very faintly that stone with the light cantrip on it in the distance.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
that was thrown in the direction of the hag fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we run away from that stone.
Yes.
We
Okay.
use that
Uh,
as the perpendicular marker to eye the stone and run to getting further away from it.
We count the stars.
We can't
Okay.
see above it.
Stars?
In that case, it's another round of survival checks at disadvantage for the same 3.
Screw you,
Oh no,
bro.
I'm going towards that light.
Oh, you're going towards
No,
it. Well,
I'm going
in
towards the
that,
light.
if you're going towards the light, you have the same roll, but you get advantage instead of disadvantage.
Yeah, no, I'm
because you have
not.
something.
I'm not, because I know I'm bad enough to where I'd run like north. Should be going east. I was like, I'm going towards that fire, that light.
We are safer together than we are apart. So Mara's going to cast Daylight on her book,
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and she's going to basically hold it up because it's only the two of us here now. A hag is way beyond our ability. We're safer together than apart. So she's going to cast Daylight on the book.
Okay. Let me just read
Besides the
text
hag.
of Daylight.
Oh, you only have... Oh, yeah, I forgot you had that spell.
I have.
That's from a
Daylight.
long time ago.
Daylight
It's a level
Fun
3
one.
spell.
It was like the
Yeah,
second
that's
session we ever played, I believe you got that.
Yes,
Was it?
absolutely.
Didn't we get that ball thing?
No, yeah, but I'm not
Oh,
using
okay.
the ball. I'm
Oh,
using
yeah.
the spell Daylight.
Yeah, you
Oh.
have a ball.
Yeah, you got a ball, man.
No, I don't have
what?
anything. I'm wearing my pajamas and my fucking holy book.
You didn't bring your ball with you?
No, you ripped me
All
out
right,
of
enough about the ball.
Right, come on. Right.
Yeah, the one testing.
I'm not even going to. I'm just going to keep the same perception check. So, Alton and Salir, you very quickly see an even brighter source of light. Probably about. Let me roll. See.
Half a feet away.
Yeah.
So, probably about 60 feet away from you, Salir, and only about 25 feet away from you, Alton.
The book.
Well, all you see is a vivid column of light. Again,
I would probably
I would go back
recognize
to
it, though, yeah?
you certainly recognize it as a more powerful light spell, yes.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Mara do things, so I think Alton might just...
Oh, I mean, you've seen Mara cast a similar spell. It's very difficult to be certain, just as I said, due to the strange distortion of seeing that at night through the fog.
Okay. Over 10 he goes. So Alton will move towards that light.
Okay.
Go towards the light, Alton.
It could be the
Did you
last
want-
thing he ever does.
Did you want the 2 new survival checks?
I think
I
it depends if does Mara, do you tell Cyric, let's just wait here, and is that something, or
Yeah. I mean, she'll say, I'm casting a spell to guide them here. We're safer together. We can't be alone.
Then
Even if
I'll
we run,
stop.
they'll catch us.
yeah.
Then I'll stop.
Okay. So Salir, what are you doing? Are you going towards the original light source or this new?
I'm going to the new one, but I'm going to try to keep an eye on the original one. I want to see if there's any shadows that go between that light source and me.
Okay.
Because I see the small light source, and
Yeah,
I want
you
to see
do.
if there's anything that blocks that vision for even just a brief moment.
Roll.
A gelatinous cube.
And I'm going to throw a javelin at whatever blocks that.
Okay. As you are watching, give me a perception check with advantage then.
14.
Yeah, very briefly, but you do see a shape that seems to slightly obscure the original.
Can I chuck a javelin at it?
Yes, you can.
It better not be me.
disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the best at. Not bad. What's my plus? Javelin is plus 15 to hit.
Alton, what's your armor class? Sorry, I did roll that.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah. So I out of fog, suddenly
You asshole.
you're a horrible piercing blow as a javelin. Roll damage.
Yep.
This is going better than I thought.
Oh, stop it, you.
It's 8 damage.
8.
So,
Yeah,
Alton,
I think.
do you continue towards the source of light?
Does it look like one of Salir's javelins is sticking out of me?
Well, it certainly is a javelin. I think there's nothing specifically.
I imagine he
about
bedazzles
Salir's
his handles and stuff.
Property of Salir.
Yeah.
Phone number.
I like to get him returned to me.
I think you hear and
Oh, sorry.
okay, so now I know it's him. And I think Quill will sort of spiral up and say, "What are you doing?"
I thought you were a hag.
I'm not a hag. I think he'll continue now hobbling towards Mara and like favoring this fucking javelin through his shoulder or wherever. I don't know.
And I think exactly that's it. That quite quickly, Mara, you see Alton staggering into the just sort of, that way where almost wraith-like something just appears out of fog in front of you.
Yeah.
And here it is your friend Alton with a javelin protruding out of his torso.
And Quill will sort of like flutter down, and Alton will sort of go down onto one of his knees, and he'll say, "Miss Mara, it's Salir. He's turned on us."
Mara will try to pull out the spear. How much? Like, he looks wounded, so she'll cast like a cure wounds on him.
Oof.
Yeah.
And Salir, whilst they're doing this, are you continuing towards their light?
Yeah,
After hearing, so quite. I'll let you do that in a second, Mara. But quite quickly, you join them in this cluster of
It's a cluster,
orcs.
all right.
8 health. All right, you're back to full then, Alton.
Oh, perfect.
Why did he attack you? What happened?
I don't. Maybe I was being a little bit dramatic. Maybe he's not turned on us.
Well,
And then it's just at that point, Salir sort of enters in the same manner, sort of wraith-like out of the fog.
Laughing maniacally.
Has anybody seen my javelin?
I throw the javelin at him. I can't even lift the javelin.
Ah,
I just go.
I
"Eh."
catch it. Like, oh, thank you.
why did you throw a javelin at Alton?
I saw a shadow.
Okay.
We
So
need
that's
to.
not
We need to
literally
move.
We need to move, and Mara will sort of go around. Do we know which direction is the right direction? We have a road below us, but I mean, do we even see? Wait, do we see the other light?
Do we even know which way is above us? Below us?
I would say now that you are all within the light that Mara has cast, reflecting off against the fog, you can't see the other light, and it's even more disorientating as to what direction is what. Because it's all you're getting is this, it's like snow blindness almost. Because you just get this
Glare.
reflection from the fog back into your eyes.
Well, we're all here, but I don't know if I should remove the daylight from in case we get lost again.
Alton puts down his backpack, and he just rummages into it for a while. And right at the bottom is approximately, I think this used to be like 50 feet of rope, but it's snapped at one point, and I think it's 40 feet of rope that he has.
Okay.
I think that's when we were scaling the Dwarven Mountain. I think one of the ropes.
That's right.
Yeah. So he lost it, but he's like, "Here, everyone, tie this around your waist," and sort of starts feeding it out to people.
And the one thing I would say is with a wee bit of a retcon is you could have replenished that back at the town before.
I don't think he did.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
your choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was more, worried about getting berries and sugar for jam. So.
He bought.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That fits the character. You wouldn't actually think about that. You're quite correct.
He traded rope for more berries.
And anyway, he kind of climbs into his bag and gets it and hands it, and sort of feeds it out to people to tie around their waist.
But 40 feet's more than enough to tie around the 5 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Thank you all.
well, that's all right. I think we might all be dead soon.
And could before anything else is, what order are you all tied up in? So who's at the front leading, and who's in what?
I would imagine, like, this is typical. It would be Salir, Mara, Alton. Oh, sorry, Cyric, Mara, Alton, Salir.
Yeah, that's how I imagine our general line of things.
Yeah.
And I think Salir is holding. I don't think Salir tied the rope to himself. He's holding it on. He's just holding on to it, or like he has it wrapped around his like, and is holding on to it, but he's not like tied to it because he wants to be able to immediately get in front of somebody if he jumps.
Yep, that's fine. That's not a problem at all. Sorry for butting in. Somebody was going to be speaking there.
Oh, I was just gonna say Salir was gonna just like look out into the fog and just like I guess try to communicate with hunting us.
Sorry, I lost that a wee bit. Communicate with what?
With whatever's hunting us. So he's just gonna like look out like vaguely towards where they came from, but he's so mixed up right now. It doesn't be like if you're trying to come kill us, it will probably be better if you just come do that now instead of waiting, because we're gonna get really jumpy and immediately attack you the moment you show up. But if you want to talk,
He means it.
Do it now.
Rubs his shoulder.
Just do it now before I just start attacking first.
Mara drops a spell on the book.
Okay.
You have a chance.
Because we're all tied up.
I will again. And when you finish speaking, there's just silence again. You can still hear the forest noises, but that strange muted way. But there's no response.
All right, we're attacking first.
Like, what? Are you just shouting into the void, or have you seen something?
Yes, he's just shouting into the fog.
Into the fog.
Oh man. You know, Squid, just in general, I would like to do another check on this fog, because it's weird and it's annoyed him that he hasn't figured out what it is. Is there anything I can do to try and suss what this is?
Let me have a look. See. Was it Arcana check I asked you to roll for knowing about the hags last week?
No, that was, I think, a history check because it was Fae. Yeah, it was one or the other. I can't remember which one you went with.
Roll those again.
Okay, so what one do you want me to roll?
It's your choice of whatever one you prefer to roll.
So I'll go with. I think I'll go with history. So for +6 on that. So okay, dirty 20.
Okay. With that, you didn't remember this the first time, but now that you've experienced this and you think again, it's triggered a wee bit of memory. Is that sometimes near where hags live, they can control nature in a more innate way that's not the same as spellcasting. They can affect the environment around them. Things like creating darkness when it's sunlight, using vines to entrap people, and indeed
they really are Fae, aren't they?
Putting up fog and mist to confuse and lose people.
Would I be able to ascertain that if the fog gets thicker, the hags are closer?
With that, that's not something that I'd ever heard. Just that they were able to manipulate.
Sure. Yeah. Alton will sort of tug on the rope to make sure everyone's there, and he'll say, "They're trying to separate us. We need to stay together. We should probably get ready and circle around, so we're not taken from behind. I don't think we can get out of this one."
Mara will cast Bless on. Why did you give me that face, Jabber?
Let's just use all of our spell slots before we get into combat.
It's a level 1 spell and it grants more than it costs.
Oh, you should, level 1 could save your life.
It could.
Yeah, but
So giving it
in general,
to-
Bless is not a bad call.
You know, it's a good.
Yeah, you gave me like the death stare. We're giving it
What?
to everybody else.
The one thing I will say, because I am quite kind, is remember it is only concentration of up to a minute, and you're not in combat at the
Yeah.
moment. So a minute
That
will
is true.
go very quickly.
Yeah,
So we do not cast Bless.
I can make it so that
I'm being kind, but I think that Mara would actually have realised that.
Yeah. If I actually looked at my spell card now that I've actually bought them.
Yeah.
I can make it so that they cannot get us. I can, like I've done before, I can make us a hut, a magical hut that they cannot penetrate.
Oh yeah.
But then we are stuck.
I'm more concerned about their caravan.
Yeah.
Me
all our
too.
friends are over there. We should
Got
just
I
try
don't
and
wa-
walk in that direction.
I don't want to bring these things back to the caravan.
Odds are they know they're already there.
Probably true.
Okay, shall we?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Siddiq?
Alton.
Siddiq, could you lead the way?
And I am going to say, even in the fog, nothing is clearer than a snake's eyes, and I will inspire Sirik.
And I shall grant him guidance. as
So
well.
you can add a D8 to any of your rolls
Thank
Okay.
you.
in the next 10 minutes, sort of thing.
The first
One thing, yeah. Sorry, on you go.
the first roll was 25.
No, no need
No,
for the.
that's
No,
a
wait.
that's a
No,
perception
that's-
check. You've only
oh, it-
rolled
oh.
one.
Oh, that's an 8. Oh,
Oh, good. It's
that's
got
even
worse.
worse.
So roll a d4 of guidance
And a D8 with.
and a d8 for bardic inspiration.
Salir, you have nothing to give him as well.
Good luck.
Oh,
That makes it a 10. Okay, so
Yikes.
sorry,
you all start moving forward as a column, trusting in your good companion Sirik. He has proven his skills of pathfinding and things in the past, and you occasionally have to dodge a tree. And this fog, it doesn't seem to get thicker, it doesn't seem to get thinner. It's just you're passing through, almost like being on the inside of a spider's cocoon. It's not pleasant. It seems to be hotter here as well. You're all still very disorientated about where you're going, what direction, whether you're going closer or further away to where you want to go. And how long would you walk before you sort of stopped and took sight of where you were or whatever? How confident is Sirik in himself? Would you think, right, I know where I'm going and keep going, or?
Probably 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, so before you stop in that 3 minutes, just sort of probably just towards the end of that 3 minute period, you've gone past where the light of that stone is not visible anymore. It was off to your sort of back quadrant, and you can see in front of you looming a dark, sort of roughly square structure. And you move forward another sort of few yards until looming out of the fog, and then the fog almost seems to slightly drift back from it, and you see in front of you a ramshackle, lopsided and poorly constructed hut, quite large, and it sits about 20 feet above the forest floor, seemingly on a pedestal made from the stump of a gigantic tree.
Oh, wow. This looks like a nice house to go into.
This
And-
looks like a hag den.
And
House
just,
made out of gingerbread and
Does it have chicken
Yeah,
legs?
and
No,
just
gingerbread.
just chicken legs and stuff. Just as you sort of see it, you can see on the porch and in the windows all these lanterns just light up. And in front of it, they're standing completely dormant around the bottom of the ladder that goes up to the porch, seem to be 5 zombies.
Oh, hi, guys.
You said dormant, you said dormants, they're not moving?
No, they're just standing there.
They're on a break.
Staring at us.
They're out smoking cigarettes.
They're all standing in random directions.
They're union allocated zombie break.
They all work for Ryanair.
You recognise the captain's uniform. They're all they don't just work for Ryanair. They're all pilots refusing to work.
Right. And they're just sort of... Are they animated? Do they just look like corpses?
No. You can all know enough that they are zombies. They are undead, but they are just sitting there or standing there doing nothing. Just sort of...
They're kind of... Yeah.
I mean, you can tell they're animated because they're sort of, they're sort of slowly sort of shuffling foot to foot to keep their balance from falling over, but they've not done anything particular at your appearance in their vicinity. And they're about 20 feet away at the moment.
Well, sort of because Alton ascertained a fair bit about the history of hags, and he knows their purpose in this is to separate the group, potentially. Can he tell if this is real? If this is an illusion of some sort?
Yeah, with your last roll, you know that it's just as likely to be real as not. Hags do use illusionary magic, but they also use slaves. And
okay, this would make sense.
Low-level undead is something that they're quite commonly used. So it could be an illusion, or it could be real.
I think Quill would land on Siric's shoulder at the front, and he's like, me and Alton don't remember seeing this on the way.
Marble, you sort of cover her face, because that is completely nasty. The rotting corpse is standing in, around.
Yeah, it's just smell of farts and death.
Yeah. One of them has a fungus sticking out.
It's no fungus. Okay, never mind. After that.
Oh no, rigor mortis.
It's not that type of stream terror. Calm down. So, what do you all do whilst confronted with this?
Mara, we just gonna be grossed out by the zombies.
Yeah.
And
I concur.
Mara will probably... So they're not doing anything aggressive, and she doesn't really want to look at them.
They're fine.
She'll try and look at the house. Can she look in through the windows like lights were lighting up?
So just to reiterate, the cleric is ignoring the undead.
No, she's just trying to not look at them at the moment. She wants to kind of... What's in the house?
That's fair.
Roll me a perception check, Mara.
Right.
We can't go near that house.
Fucking Christ, that's 14.
Okay. So, regarding the house, you can't really see any more than what you can from the outside. That it's not well put together. It's slowly rotting. There are sort of pale, thin curtains in the windows, and also because you're lower than the level you're looking up, you can't really see in. It's obviously quite dark behind the windows as well, other than the light. But with your perception check, what you do see is that one of the zombies, as your eyes just sort of naturally, much as you were trying to sort of stay away, that sort of your perception sort of drew your eye to it. One of the zombies seems to have a small orb about that sort of size, about the size of a plum or something, and it's holding it between its fingers, and it's starting to sort of move it to look around. And as you look closer, you can see that this seems to be the real eye of some sort of large creature, and it's moving around, sort of focusing on you as the zombie's sort of pointing it with his fingers.
So they're basically like CCTV.
It's a webcam. The zombies are live streaming this from the other perspective.
Yeah. They're on their witch channels.
Yeah. Mara will point at the one with the eye. He's clearly showing this to someone. He's holding on the eye. Whoever's watching through that eye knows that we're here now.
We must be careful, Mara. Somewhere in this forest is a one-eyed monster.
I think that Mara will think that's funny, but it's dangerous. But she'll be like, "Don't worry, Alton. Some of us have fought them before."
Alton will sort of look seriously to her, like, should I?
Let's wait.
Yes.
We don't need to use the fireball. No, we should. I mean, it's not my particular faith to destroy the undead, but it still needs to be done. But let's not waste the fireball, because that's what you meant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a couple of options. We could kill the zombies, climb up into the treehouse, try to find the way home and leave, ignore the zombies and try to wave at whatever is looking at us with the weird eyeball, or just wait. Just wait.
I don't know. Part of me just wants to leave.
And just as you say that, all of the zombies sort of look up and turn, so they're all facing at you, and their mouths are sort of animating, but you can tell that the noise isn't actually coming from them. And you hear a voice that goes, "But why would you want to leave, Miss Mara, when we haven't even had a chance to have a speak yet?" And as that voice comes, you hear a rustling, and behind you, as you turn round to react, you can see there's a huge sort of briar circle comes round, so that it'd be very difficult to go back the way you came now. And it's encircling you and cutting off any direction other than the hut. And then they look towards Alton, and we know your name is Alton. Who are these other two gentlemen? You've not had the pleasure of knowing your names.
Do not say my name.
And Zurich remains silent.
Oh, that is very rude.
Yes, so are you, talking through zombies. What a rude way to interact with people.
Well, come into my home.
Well, open the door for us.
It's not locked.
It is a matter of perspective. I need you to literally open the door and gesture for us to come in order for my own rule set of proper manners to be abated.
Oh, but I am a very poor and frail old lady. You're a strapping young man.
Aren't you a skitter?
I do not know what you mean.
Can I roll some sort of check to see if we can cut through the briars behind us or something?
Thought you were going to say so we can cut through the bullshit.
Yeah. Come on here, Hag.
Oh no, Saviours's 100% bullshitting. He's no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see her.
I think Alton looks very sincerely at Salir and says, I don't think that's a good idea.
Mara
Shouldn't go in
shaking
there.
her head.
No, I just more of want to just make eye contact so I know what I'm dealing with. If I'm not walking into a house when I don't know the owner, I don't know what they look like, I do not know what's
She
in there.
is an evil hag. She has a lot of power, and probably a lot more power than even I have, magically. We need to leave.
I don't think we can.
And look, and Alton looks at the briars.
Yeah, help me look, Alton. Can we escape somehow?
What are you doing to ascertain that? I need a wee bit more as to what are you actually physically trying to do?
Trying to like look at them, pull at them. I don't know. Take out a knife, cut at them. No, she doesn't have any knife. I don't know.
Right. Well, as you pull at them, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, great. That is a total of 5.
Uh-oh. Good luck. You're going to be restrained for a while.
You take 7 acid damage.
Acid briars? What the hell?
As you look again, you can see that where you've touched it, it seems to almost be oozing mucus from the points of the thorns on the briar. And it's just now sort of all over, covered in an acidic film.
Yeah.
You.
Okay, so we can't touch it in any way. Well, I mean, she's forcing us to go into her hut.
I'm not forcing you. I'm just giving you a very polite invitation.
Retreat these briars, you smelly old hag.
Oh, that is nice.
Oh, I think you underestimate my power.
I don't. Leave me go.
With the forest.
Wouldn't that be a vicious mockery? No.
Could you have the zombies step away from the ladder?
Oh, absolutely. And they all sort of retreat to the right-hand side. So they're about 30 feet away from the ladder. They're now on the angle, about 50 feet away from you.
Alton will yet again look at Mara, who's probably nursing her acidic hand. I say, can I do it now?
And Mara looks at the others. I mean, what do we say?
Option A.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, our options have been limited once again. A, kill all the zombies and have the hag upset at us. B, try to live through the briars. I could probably cut through the necks.
Yeah, but they'll splatter acid on you if you break them.
It is fine. C, we go and have a fancy dinner with a hag who will try to deceive us and manipulate us into dying.
Probably. I don't really want to step foot in that hut. I mean,
how far back do the briars go?
They've just sort of come into a semicircle behind you. Again, with the fog and things, you can't really see how deep they are. Again, being pitch dark.
It's like everywhere. It's like a circular fog all around the tree hut. We're basically can only see the area of the hut.
Yes.
Well, Alton's ready to go, but he obviously won't do it until everyone agrees that he should be doing that. Someone has a better idea, they should be coming forward with it.
As you're sort of obfuscating, you hear the zombies start talking again, going, "Just wait your turn, Willa Wormtooth. I'll tell you what they're doing in a minute." And then there's a sort of strange noise, and then a different voice comes out of the zombies that goes, "Well, are you coming in for dinner or not?"
There's more than one.
Yeah.
So we have less chances of living if
we are to die if we enter that house.
We are to die if we do anything.
Oh no, we are very, very good.
What do you want?
We just want to see people. It gets very boring here, just us in this hut.
Speak the truth. You've clouded us with fog. I got stabbed with a javelin. What is your purpose, hag?
That is very, very rude.
I know what you are.
Where do these zombies come from? Are they other guests you've had?
Oh no, they're just...
It's time to leave. This party is dead.
They keep the place tidy. Make sure predators don't come out of the woods and harm us.
Do I believe her?
Fuck off.
I give them individual names. I don't know if I believe the lady.
There's Dave, Dave 2, Dave 3, and Steve.
May I roll an insight to see if she's telling the truth?
Is Dave 2 like the zombie with a heart of gold?
Oh,
He's
Steve's the one with the eyeball.
Yeah.
He's in charge.
Day 1 just has a coffee cup.
I rolled a 9.
It says "World's Greatest Dad" on it.
I rolled. Oof.
He holds a gift under one arm.
I rolled a 9 insight. Do I believe her?
She's very difficult to read.
Oh, really?
I'll let you interpret that.
Oh, really? I'm leaving it up to you. I am entertaining the idea of going inside because if we're down, will chase us. Hags will chase us. Fires will chase us.
I'm not worried about the zombies. I think I've been granted enough divine might to simply eradicate them, but it's those creatures beyond the window. I know there's more than one. How many are in there?
Are you sorry? You saying that?
Yeah, I'm shouting it to us.
There's just me and my 2 sisters. We're all very good cooks, and we can give you a lovely meal and somewhere to rest. You all look very tired. What are you doing in the woods in the middle of the night, sneaking about? You're not here trying to steal all my treasure, are you?
We're
Not
busy
at
and we
all.
really must be getting back to where we need to go.
Also, I think you were the one sneaking around. I think we were just kind of here, and then you did the sneaking because we are not silent. No
I'm
matter
sorry,
what you
young
say.
man, but you're the one that are standing in my garden.
Well, we got lost.
Can you sneak around your own property?
Yes.
You're trespassing.
Oh,
Well,
maybe
we'll
I
just
should
be on our
not-
way.
Hmm.
All right. Well, if we will leave then. Sorry.
Yes. See you later.
We will leave. Thank you for the gracious invitation.
Bye, Dave.
I must leave.
Can we go around the briars?
No, it's encircling around, going into the sides of the.
I think at this point,
Circle.
at this point, Alton will untie himself.
And then I think at this point you see Steve the zombie with the eye. He starts shambling over to the ladder and slowly climbs up it, and just stands in the open doorway. And then they all go,
Well, you asked us to open the door, so you
I
are
asked-
invited.
All right. Because as you know, with vampires, you'll be invited inside.
Could I technically use my racial trait suggestion to ask them to come out?
Does it
I
require
think
sight?
You need to see
Or
them, I
does it
think.
require eye contact?
Yeah. That's
I'm just double checking in the.
You tell us that you're doing that.
No, you just wants to do it. See if you can do it.
That's true.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be a creature you can see within 30
damn it.
feet of you.
Could I persuade them? Ask them to come out to the window?
You can try.
All right. So, how about we make sure? Let's see. How about we make sure that you're here for real first? Show yourself at the window, and we might take you up on your offer.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Persuasion.
24.
cool.
Damn.
You hear some muttering and arguing, or sort of one side of a three-way conversation, as they discuss That's sort of, and then make a persuasion check. Sorry, a perception check, all of you, as you see a figure appear in the doorway.
13.
22. Oh, sorry. 22.
You see a white-haired green woman appear in the doorway, and all of you that rolled above 13, which I think was all of you, you can tell that this is an illusion. It is not actually, but it does seem to be a genuine representation of one of the dwellers within. And then the zombies go, bear with me, sorry, I'm on the wrong layer of the zombies go,
Hello, I am Granny Greta. I'm very pleased to meet you.
Is there anything behind her?
just the sort of the rest of the room behind. That again, from the angle that you're at, you can't really get an awful lot from what's in the door.
Okay. I was thinking, but I can't. Light is touched, so I can't. Because it was. We know that's just an illusion.
Well, all he said was he wanted to see me. And that's what I've shown you. And I've opened the door and invited you in for dinner.
We don't want to be for dinner.
To serve man.
She's got me.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
The zombies cheer.
I would leave it to you all. I will defend us if we attack. I will go in if we go.
We know that we are walking into a trap
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I don't
horrific
think we have
monsters.
much of a choice right
No.
now.
Don't think
The only thing we need to value is, do we have a greater chance of success down here or up there?
I don't think they're coming out.
I
No.
don't think it matters.
Could flush them out.
Sure.
We could. Do you want to try that?
I'm not going in there.
And, well,
They eat children.
Zerg will shout out,
So?
disperse your zombies from the area, and I'll move closer to you.
Yeah, and you can see that when you first asked that, they're as far as they can go. They've basically got their backs to the briar, other than Steve, who's still up at the doorway.
Fucking Steve.
Yeah, that's just he's now Steve the zombie. That's
Steve too.
No, there's only one Steve.
Yeah, it's
There's
Dave
4
and Dave.
Daves.
Yeah.
The one on the statue. Take it back to the others, and I'll come in.
You've discussed destroying them, I think. I shall have to. He has our precious, so
And then you just see Steve back away into the hut.
Well, that is their eye. That's their eye zombie. So, I mean...
iZombie. New show on Nickelodeon.
I have said now that I will go in, so I think Siri will. Like,
Yeah.
he just says that to you. Tell Pally, yeah, I'm going in.
Okay.
I'm going in.
I'm going in.
Alta would definitely tug on your tail. Don't go in there. You won't come out.
He's not a child.
How do you suggest we get through this maze?
Then do it.
I will. Looks at Mara.
Alton, now, combat is not my specialty here.
She's not wearing her armor. That will not kill the hags. That will only upset them. We have the zombies still right down here. It is a guaranteed bloodbath.
They do have the high ground.
While they're talking,
There will be
Sirik,
one.
yeah, whilst they're talking, Sirik, have you continued or have you stopped?
No, I'm walking very, very slowly.
Alton holding the tail.
You walk slowly, and the what you know is an illusion sort of looks down towards you, and you quite quickly, although you're walking slowly, find yourself at the bottom of the rickety ladder.
I fell down a hole.
No,
it's a ladder.
It's the porch is above you,
Oh.
so you're at a ladder going up to the front porch of the hut.
I mean, that would be pretty railroady if you didn't get to do like a roll.
Yeah, sorry.
You're
sorry,
dead.
And you find yourself in a hole.
It's a rabbit hole, and there seems to be a white hair running away from you at the bottom.
Sorry.
I'm late.
I mean, if everybody else is walking, Mara's coming with them.
Okay.
Because
Do you climb the ladders? At this moment in time, I thought Sirik was the only one approaching.
I thought Celia was also going.
Salir's like with him,
Yeah.
kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you
I'm
go up
afraid.
the ladder, Sirik?
He's sort of looking at the rest of the party. Like, should I?
I can go first if you wish.
And, well, looking back at Alton. And Alton shakes his head.
I mean, I'm not going to go up if you're going to blow it up. Just
Yeah.
let me know if you're going to blow it up or not.
They want us to come up for a dinner. We don't have to eat. They want to talk.
You are for dinner.
I know. But if they go up, we can't cast our spells into that hole.
I can get out of here right now.
You can?
Think
He
so.
can,
How?
maybe.
I'll make a door to another dimension.
Oh,
Yeah, simple like that.
okay then.
Well, then
If you go in there, you all will die.
if we stay
I've
here,
warned
we
you
can't
time
get
and
out.
How do you know that?
We can't get through the briars. They're acid. They will kill us before we get through it.
Can we get through the hags?
Easier than we can with the briars.
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
Just with that, all of the zombies go, this is very boring. I
Shut
think
up, Dave.
Go to bed. And I'll see if you're still here in the morning. Maybe we can have breakfast. And poof, the illusion disappears. Door still stays open.
That is the ultimate problem as well, Alton. Even if we get out, we're still through the fog. Their fog. We are being forced to meet them. If we attack from down here, odds are that they'll attack us from the cover up there. They have the upper hand. Walking up might even it out a bit more for us. I'm sorry. I think I'll have to go up.
Alton, you can leave, apparently, with just a magical dimension whenever we do not have that power.
Yeah.
So if anything, you should run. If things go poorly, you can leave. We are stuck in here with the briars and the zombies. We either starve to death or they come out and
No, I think Atom will sort of grimace. All this crazy talk. And
sometimes we have to use our mouths to get through situations instead of our X's.
Sometimes word be good. Sometimes word so bad.
Sometimes word is stronger than X. But not often.
I didn't know you were into older women, Celia.
That could I make
It's gone inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, the zombie went inside.
Yeah.
it went inside?
Yeah, I mean Steve is the
Oh yeah, that's the
upper
one. Yeah,
ranking one,
Steve
yeah.
was the one with I, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I think Alton will sort
Steve
of.
is the assistant manager.
Yeah, and I just think Steve and Dave, that is totally metagaming, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Alton,
No, it's fine.
Alton will.
We're older.
He'll probably like pout for like 10 minutes. And then eventually he'll be like, well.
I'm going to go up.
We've walked into worse things, I suppose.
Yeah, we walked into a literal battlefield with a dragon. What are 3 old ladies?
You'll regret
many,
that.
many stories.
I will regret that. I know exactly what I'm setting.
But you don't.
Celia climbs.
I
ladder.
do.
Celia climbs the ladder. And do the rest of you follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Mara will follow.
Alton, reluctantly, or do you stay behind and dimension door away?
It's tempting. He looks off into the distance.
I mean,
Well, I think
bushes.
that's probably, before anyone says anything else, that's maybe quite a good time. A wee bit early for our first break, but maybe that's just a good one, as Celier's getting towards the top of the ladder, Cyric's just about to start up behind him, Mara's clearly doing, and Alton's sort of looking at his shoulder away. And we'll come back and see if he joins them or runs away.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back 5-10 minutes. That kind of way.
Yeah.
Quick comfort break. Thank you all for everyone who's watching, and we'll be back
Yeah.
as soon as we can.
we appreciate it all.
Yeah. Don't tell the hags we're here.